Hi, it's Cindy. If anybody's out there, give me a shout out and yeah, we'll be there. I wanted to go over my plans for September. I'm hoping people join me. So far, I don't see anybody. So, anyway, I will bring my guest on. Hi, Andy.
Hello,
Right now, I
Cindy.
don't see anybody here. So,
That's that's okay. You
we'll
just
just chat.
the show must go on.
That's right. That's right. So when they get here, we'll discuss what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, and I want you to agree to join in. I'm here. That must be Hope.
Hey, there she is.
Yes, hi, Hope. Bring some more people with you, chick.
There we go.
There's my sister. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
We need to get some more people in here. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, so Andy, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're not eating. You agreed to this last night on air,
I have agreed to it. Absolutely. So
and I got your number.
Monday night, 6 p.m. It's on for 2 days.
That's right. And not eat again until
Thursday.
Thursday. First meal, whenever that is. Mine's usually not till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So,
Yeah, it'll probably be around 11 or 12 o'clock.
yeah, so that'll be about a 60-hour fast.
Yeah,
I've done them before,
yeah.
but you
This will
said you
be
hadn't.
this will be my longest for sure. The longest I've ever done is 29.
Yeah. It's once you get past, like for me, once I got past that initial hunger, if you need anything, salt, that will get you past it. I
Yep.
really didn't need that. It was like, it was just so easy. But with me, the reason I want to do this, and I'm going to do this every week in September, is after talking with, asking Dr. Ovadia a question on one of the lives I caught him on. He's a heart surgeon, and I have a very, very high CAC score. And it puts me in like the 95th percentile of having a heart attack.
Mm.
But he had commented it towards the end of that video that not only do our brains need ketones, but our hearts do as well. So to get into ketosis, and as deep as a state of ketosis I can get in, not only autophagy, which is that fat burning mode, but also if it's going to help the heart situation, I'm good with that. It's like it's so weird, but I feel like so good when I fast, do extended fast.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So I'm anxious to see how well you do
Now,
and how you
has your
feel.
what does your doctor think about you doing keto, carnivore? What does your doctor think about it?
Our doctor is we just when we moved from New Hampshire to Kentucky, we found this doctor. And at first I couldn't stand him. I didn't
Yeah.
I really didn't like him. You can ask Debbie. I talked to her so many times it was funny. But as time went on, our neighbor had started going to him. And he came up to us one day, our neighbor did. He said, I want to thank you for getting our doctor prepped for keto because I didn't hold back. I told him exactly what we were doing. And he never said anything. And it turns out when I went back to the doctor after that, I said, "Oh, our neighbor started coming to you, and he told me thanks for getting you all prepped up about keto." He said, "I've had success on it myself." So he never says anything. In fact, our doctor in New Hampshire, when I started it, I had asked for an A1C test done because I had
Yeah.
never had one. And being just under 300 pounds, you would have thought that the doctor would have done one at some point in my life, but I don't recall ever getting one done, ever getting results of one. So it came back at 5.8.
Mm.
And when I got the results, I had gone back to discuss the results of the blood test and stuff. And my doctor's like, I had just started keto. I had already dropped 20 pounds. And he's like, I'm not worried about you. You're doing what you got to do. It's like within a couple months, it was down to 5.4. My last set, it was 5.1.
Okay.
So I'm good. I'm like,
I get it. When I went to the previous year, right before I started doing the, BBBE and then carnivore,
mhm,
I went to the doctor. I think it was March of 2022, right in there somewhere. And when I weighed myself that day, I was 342 pounds at the doctor's office.
mhm.
But then in June, I was 369. So I gained almost another 20 some odd pounds after going to the
Right.
doctor. And that's when I found out I was pre-diabetic and, my blood work was terrible, all that stuff. And so when I went a few months ago, I was like, I'm so curious to see what they're going to say. And, it had been a year. It's not like I'm going to walk in there and they were going to go, wow, you're different.
Right.
It's not like that there. And when I weighed myself there, I was 274. And, so when I got off the scale, I said to the nurse, I said, hey, how much did I weigh last year? And she opened the chart. She goes, is this right? 342? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, you're 274 now. That's amazing. And so I told her, yeah, now I'm doing carnivore and all that stuff. And it just like lit up the office. And so I went
Right.
into sat and waited for the doctor. She came in and she's like, I hear that there's some great news going on with your weight now. Fantastic. And so she's like, let's do your blood work. Let's knock that all out. And then let's see how things are going, And so when I came out, everyone in the office was talking about it. And they're like, what are you doing now? So I told them everything. I'm like, nah, it's amazing. So I think it's like a week or so later, maybe 2 weeks, I went back to get my results. And the doctor was like, listen, you are no longer pre-diabetic. Your numbers are absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So keep on what you're doing. I'll see you in 6 months. And that was it.
Right.
And I was waiting for that, because you see that on social media or whatever, where, oh, my doctor doesn't want me doing that or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was kind of waiting for that. And she was all for it. She's like, hey, if this is working for you, keep on rolling with it. And that was it. She's like, I'll see you in 6 months. And I've lost, several pounds since then. So it's definitely working.
Right. Hello, Renee. Make sure you like the video. Yes, all the 3 of you, there are 4 of you that are in here.
Hi,
But
Renee.
when I got, even before I started keto, all my blood work, because I had never had A1C check, but everything else was always good.
Yeah.
And so, and I felt all right. I knew I was ridiculously overweight
Yeah.
and I didn't do anything. I had both of my knees replaced prior to that and had a real bad time of it with the second knee. I had to have 2 consecutive surgeries after the first one because I got infections. And there's our dog. Brian will take care of that. But it was so ridiculous because at one point I couldn't even go to physical therapy. I had to immobilize my leg. So I sat my butt on the couch with my leg up. And, my son or my husband would go to the store and say, well, what do you want? I said, dark chocolate. I don't care what else. Dark chocolate. This is before I started keto. Like
Yeah.
I said, it was a couple years before. And that was what I wanted. That was what I I was craving ongoing. And it was a nightly thing. I would have some every night as I'm sitting there watching TV, not being able to move much because my leg was messed up. I was on IV antibiotics for 6 weeks at home.
Yeah.
And then 8 months of oral antibiotics after that. It was crazy, crazy. But thankfully that's all done.
So
But
you're not on anything right now?
the only prescription medication I take is a diuretic because I have lymphedema in both of my legs. And it helps keep the swelling down as well as eating this way. And I wear compression socks.
Nice.
But that's it. The other stuff I take is all vitamins. Because after having gastric bypass, I can't absorb the vitamins and minerals like everybody else can. Hey, B Dog, I was just in there too and put him on mute. Don't tell him that though. I didn't mute Dr. Barry. Hi, Jason.
Hey,
Long
B-Dog.
time
Hey,
no see.
Jason.
He was just in there too. But yeah, so after the gastric bypass, anybody has that, your body really can't absorb all that. I know they say you don't need vitamins, you get it from your food. Well, there are cases like mine where you definitely need them. You know, it's so, and I was told back then, you'll have to supplement with vitamins probably the rest of your life if you have this done. Well, when I had it, I was like, okay, you've got to do this because there's heart disease in my family. There's high blood pressure. There's diabetes. There's all this stuff that I was trying to run away from. And I was real close to 300 pounds when I had it done.
Wow.
And I had lost like 90 pounds after the surgery, but then it started creeping back up. And they would tell us in all the support meetings I had to go to, they test you ridiculously before they agree to do this surgery on anybody. And that they tell you, don't eat white potatoes, eat sweet potatoes. Don't eat the white rice, eat brown rice, and all that stuff. Give up the regular pasta, go to whole grain pasta. I did all of that, and as we know, all of that stuff has carbs.
It sure does.
So that weight started creeping up. Not to mention the dark chocolate,
right?
But all that stuff started creeping up, and. Hello, time traveler. I don't know anybody's names like this, so I'm sorry. I got to go with the channel name.
Yeah, you got to go with the channel name.
Yeah. So, it was crazy, but I had wound up back up to almost 270 pounds by the time I started keto.
Wow.
And it was just nuts. So this September thing, I mean, I've been maintaining this 100-pound loss for almost a year. Like we talked about last night, with the, up a pound, down a pound, that kind of garbage, that little tiny roller coaster instead of those big ones.
Yeah.
And I know I've got to like 20, 25 pounds I would like to lose. So I need to shake things up a little bit. So every week this month, I'm going to do 2 days of fasting. Giving up my Diet Pepsi on those days, on that time frame, those 60 hours every week, and staying away from Chalk Zero and all that for the month. I'm not going to touch it. Not going to touch it. Anyway, I have plenty in this house. It's like the willpower is there. But
I get it.
That's my September plans. Now, last night, there's more people that have come in here now. You agreed. I challenged you, and you said you're going to do what?
I'm going to do a 2-day fast alongside of you. So this would be, like I said, there's some new people here. So like I said, this would be the longest I've ever done was 29 hours. So it's definitely going to be an experience, but I'll get through it. Like I said, this morning, from last night to this morning, I did a 18 hours. And then I ate around noon. I've eaten twice since then, and then I'm done. So I'll do it again for another 18, 19 till tomorrow, and just keep it moving, so that way, by the time it gets to Monday night into Tuesday, I've already done, several hours going into that morning. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm
sleeping is easy. That's the easiest time.
Yeah.
It's the after time. But if you just keep busy, and like I said, if you get to where you have that, you got to eat salt. Yeah. Just put some salt under your tongue. You're good.
Yeah.
B-Dog, I had a cheeseburger and beer for a toast to Jimmy Buffett. Rest in peace. I just saw he passed away. My first beer in a year.
All right.
For your Jen Joyment. I love that name, Jen. Love it. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Jen, Delaney just changed her channel name to that.
Nice. That is a good name.
Great. It is.
Very creative.
Just Jason, Dr. B's chat sure was flying today. It always does. He's got thousands of people in it all the time. Yep, Dr. B. Yeah, B Dog Chalk Zero is my biggest downfall, but it does not bother me. And more than that, my husband is a type 1 diabetic, and it does not mess with his blood sugars. It does a lot of people, but it doesn't mess with his. I just left Dr. B to come here too. Thank you, Renee. Yes, I agree. Rest in peace. Hi, Sylvia. Good afternoon. That's what I need to do, a blood work. Last year, my A1C was 5.4. I'm curious to see what it is now. And I was doing ketovore at that time, but I fell off the wagon, started a new journey yesterday. Well, good luck with that, Judy. You've got this.
Good luck, Judy.
Got this. Doing the Sea Lion Challenge now. There you go.
There it comes up again.
Andy is doing the Lion Diet,
yeah,
with the exception of 2 days this coming week. And where he's just not going to do anything.
That's right. Just water and salt.
Hope won't have to prep anything for you for those days.
Nah, she's Hope's going to join us, so we'll see.
She is. What Hope? I just saw your video on your menu for the week.
Yeah, did you see the?
Come in the door, Hope.
Oh, actually, she did it out for the month, but really for Tuesday and Wednesday, it should say fast.
Unless she changed it since she put the video up.
Yeah.
Because I saw it.
Maybe she might have.
I watched that video today.
Yeah, Carnivore Kip was the one that is doing the Sea Lion Diet. Yeah.
Yes, he's the one. He came up with that, I think. I've never heard that before. And then Kip started it. It was like, great. I saw that me menu too. It was amazing.
Yes.
And Hope is still debating, Andy.
She's still debating. She's still debating.
Well,
see.
Last night, the look on her face was like,
yeah.
Not me. No.
I'll tell you, if she really put her mind to it, she could get through it. Because like I said, she knocks out the exercise stuff so simply now. And,
she does.
And she's really doing well maintaining and all that stuff. If she really set her mind to it, I'll tell you this, if she was heavier and she wasn't in the maintaining phase right now, I think she could knock it out. But right now that she's maintaining, she's kind of like, I don't know if I really need to do this.
It's like I said, it makes me feel just amazing. And it's hard to explain because I feel good ongoing. I really do, regardless of what stupid CAC score says. I feel really good. But it's a whole new level. It's like, it's just incredible. Question for Judy. What is Sea Lion? It's the Lion Diet adding seafood. Beef and seafood. Yeah. Carnivore Kip. He decided he was going to do that. Yep. Lion Diet plus seafood.
It's not a bad idea.
I'll tell you. After you get past the first month or whatever you're doing, you might want to add in seafood and just keep going. They'll give you some flexibility.
I want to see how I'm doing after the 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I may continue it. Because even now being on day 2, I'm just sitting there kind of wondering, like, I had a really small headache and I'm just like, where is that coming from? Because I'm not having any sugars or anything like that. So it could be the stevia drops in the coffee. It could be the half and half.
It could be the lack of coffee, the lack of caffeine.
I don't have caffeine. I have decaf.
There's still caffeine in decaf coffee.
Then maybe very well could be. I don't know.
But it's crazy that it calls it that, but
it's nowhere near the headache that I had when I started BBBE.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's already pretty much gone now. So it's usually for me, it's that first and second day. And then after this, it's just smooth sailing from here.
It's usually like for me when I did beef, butter, bacon, and eggs last year, and I gave up my Diet Pepsi for the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've never given that up except for then.
Yeah.
I had the worst headache for a couple days and then I was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I don't know why I went back to it, but you know.
Yeah.
Do,
So yeah. So
do
that's
crazy
all.
things sometimes.
But I'll see how it is, at the end of September, see kind of like where I'm at. I do like the sound of that, the sea lion diet. Because then again, that gives you that extra variety of, get some shrimp or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And
It's like I saw Kip's video from this morning. He's out jogging. I'm like, the dude's got it. It's
yeah. You won't see me doing that until I'm under 200, even then.
Well, he just got under 400.
That's amazing.
And he's out there jogging. It's like he just got his 100-pound mark. He just hit it. Yeah.
It's amazing how many people are out there doing this, and even in this world of YouTube, there's so many YouTubers. Like you mentioned a few of them last night. I'm like, I've never heard of some of these people. Like I've never heard of, Kip or there was somebody else last night.
Intentional Carnivore.
Yeah. There's some people I was like, wow, I've never heard of these, but they're doing the same thing.
Right.
That we're all doing. So the information out there for this is so wide, that gives people an option.
Okay. Yes.
And say,
between
hey, like
keto, ketovore, carnivore.
Yeah.
All the facets of the proper human diet. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
And Sana and I, when we started these lives, and she might be popping in. I know her and her husband are out shopping. But when we started these, we swore that we were not going to go all crazy about strict carnivore or ketovore versus carnivore or any of that, because there's so much negativity in the community.
Yes.
That it's just not right. It's like if you're following whatever you're doing, whether it's a proper human diet, whatever you feel works for you, that's what's important.
Yeah.
It's like one day I was watching and I put a video up about it because it aggravated me. I was on the way to the airport and I had watched this video in the morning. And I was so aggravated because there was so much negativity in this video. And I said, what gives any of us the right to knock somebody else down for the way they choose to eat?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's within the proper human diet realm or other, whether they're vegan or they just eat fruit or, whatever they choose to eat. If it's right for them, it's right for them. If it's not, they'll figure it out.
Yep.
And they'll work on it, but it's nobody's place to knock somebody down for what they believe or what they choose to do.
And you see it a lot on Twitter or now X. I keep forgetting it's not Twitter anymore.
Where I wouldn't know. I
follow a couple of doctors that do carnivore and things like that. Shawn Baker, and he just gets hammered all the time about, you're doing this wrong, things like that. And he just shows them, look, this is working, not just for me, but for other people as well.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Baker is there's a funny story with that. He interviewed me in May of 22. It's on my playlist, actually, the interview. And it was great. I was so nervous. And Debbie, if you're still in here, I called her and I said, I got an email from Shawn Baker's from Rivero saying they want to interview me because I had commented on a video I had watched that he was interviewing a doctor about lymphedema. And that's something that's important to me. So I commented that I was diagnosed with primary and secondary after I had my second knee replaced. She's like, and I called her and I said, you'll never guess what happened. I just got an email that they want to interview me. The Dr. Baker wants to interview me. She's like, oh, that's so cool. Well, from that till the time it happened, I was a nervous wreck.
Wow.
An absolute nervous wreck. But it went well. It was good. Hi, Connie.
Hey, Connie.
Hi, Cindy and Andy. I keep going back to keto, low carb. A few times I stay carnivore, I feel amazing. Then eat my onions and tomatoes and start over. B-Dog, you got to do what makes you feel the best because this is all about your health.
Yep.
And if you already know something's bothering you, I probably wouldn't do it. Unfortunately for me, nothing bothers me. I wish it would. But I've given up everything for BBB and E. And then with everything I went back to, nothing triggered anything. It was like nothing bothered me. Nothing bothered my stomach. It was like, what? Nothing.
And that's
But when it does, I had this discussion with someone else. It's like when you find something that works for you and you feel great, goodness knows, stick with it, because that's showing that your health is improving.
Yep.
And to me, anyway, no doctor. Here we go. Yep. Cindy was a nervous wreck. Thank you, Deb. But yeah, I was petrified. And I'm like, oh, this is nuts. Because this wasn't just anybody, this was Dr. Baker.
Yeah.
And I had been watching him. And, there were times he was a little harsh about people, some of his videos. And he really calmed that down a lot. But I was like, oh my goodness, if I say something that he doesn't approve of, what's going to happen? But the funny story, we went to KetoCon and my husband went. It was in Austin in April. And I mean, Dr. Barry is just the nicest person, so approachable. Well, so is Dr. Baker. And I actually got to meet him at KetoCon. I had the interview with him, but I actually got to meet him. And that was exciting. Well, my husband goes up to him. He says, if any of you don't know who Dr. Baker is, he is a 6'5" brick, what house. He's massive. He's just like muscles on top of muscles.
Yeah.
On top of muscles. My husband is 5'5". He's got muscles, but very minor next to Dr. Baker. So he went up to him. He said, "Can I ask you a question?" And Dr. Baker, "Sure." He says, "You work out, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, you didn't just ask him that." But he had a legitimate question for him because my husband had fallen and he lost a lot of muscle on his left side. Yeah. He broke his wrist. And he said, "How do I build that up without doing that?" He said, "Put a heavier weight in your left hand and a lighter weight in your right hand to build that up." So he had a legitimate question, but starting it the way he did, I was like, oh, hell. I looked at Dr. Baker. I'm so sorry. Like, I am so sorry.
Yeah. He seems like a nice guy, but like I said, I think the social media aspect of it makes him defensive on things,
Oh, definitely. He gets
listen, it's lack of knowledge and all of those things, and they're because he's a big guy, and they're like, oh, you're taking steroids and all this other stuff. And he's like, I've been working out since I was a kid, this is all natural. And I mean, he's not giving me any other reason not to. And he's a doctor too, So again, it's just I've posted things, we said it last night where people will comment every once in a while and say something. And you can't take it personally.
No.
It's just, it's lack of knowledge.
Well, that's the one thing when I really debated starting a channel for a long time because I'm just this little person here in this big YouTube world and watching videos and getting inspired by so many people. And, I talked to my husband, I would talk to Debbie. I'm like, I kind of want to do this. And, Brian's like, well, whatever. And Debbie said, well, you go for it. I don't have any story. Well, that's what she says. But the one time she said it to the wrong person. She said that to Nurse Cindy one time, and she said, don't ever let me hear you say that again. Everyone has a story.
Yes.
That's what she was told. So anyway, when I started it and I started posting videos, I have a pretty thick skin. So, it's like, bring it. I don't care. But I had this one comment. This guy said, nobody cares, Grandma. I was like, delete. It was like, goodbye, whatever. Somebody cares. I don't care
Yeah.
if you do or not.
That's it. That person is just not for your channel, you know?
That's right, Debbie. All someone has to do is watch Dr. Baker as he works out. I was watching him one day. He had these pads piled up to his head. So 6'5".
Yeah.
So 6 feet of pads, 200-pound medicine ball, picking it up from the floor, putting it up, bringing it back, dropping it, picking it up, putting it back up repeatedly. I'm like, oh my God. And then another time he was carrying around a 100-pound medicine ball, just walking down his driveway, which if you've seen those, it's a long driveway.
Yeah.
And I looked at my husband. I said, that's how much weight I lost. I can't imagine carrying that around anymore.
Yeah.
You know, those are the realizations that really smack you in the face.
Yeah.
It's
I thought about that when I hit 100 pounds lost. I was like, you know, I'd like to get something that is about 100 pounds and carry it and just show, oh my goodness, this is how much my body was carrying.
You would carry that around for about 10 minutes and put it down. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. So think of the pressure that was putting on my back and my waist and my knees and ankles, you know.
Yeah.
You as well, you know, and I'm 5'8". So that's showing on me, you know.
I'm 5'4".
So you know, we were going through some massive pain, you know.
It's crazy.
And I still got a ways to go, but I'm a lot closer now than I was over a year ago.
Yes. Pula. Hi, Cindy. That's a good story about starting channel. Thank you. It's true. I debated for a long time, months before I went ahead and started it. And, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fun. These lives are fun. I really enjoy those.
Yeah.
I really enjoy these. The first time we went on, Sana and I went on just by ourselves the first week. And we just were cutting up and everything. Yes. But we were just having a good time. And we made it clear that it was going to be very light. Nothing's going to be negative because neither one of us need it in our life. And neither does anybody else.
Now, how did you meet Sana?
Through different chats.
Just talking.
I haven't actually met her yet. She just texted me today. She said, you know, it'd be so cool if you could come to Florida and we could do this meetup that you guys were talking about last night. She said that would actually make me stay overnight in Orlando.
Yep.
I'm like, takes money. B-Dog, even picking up a 10-pound bowling ball is a lot.
It sure is.
It's funny you say that, B-Dog, because there's a lady that lives right across the street from me. And in our subdivision, she put up a notice that the senior league for 50 and over is starting September 11th, a week from Monday at 1:00 if anybody's interested. And I bowled from the time I was 9 years old until I was in my 40s. And I started having really bad back pain and knee pain and everything. And before my knee surgeries and all that stuff. And I looked at my husband. I said, I would kind of like to try it again because I did it for so long. But I don't know. But when I stopped, I was averaging 170. And I was using a 16-pound full fingertip ball. If you're familiar with that at all, it was, even the men don't use 16-pound balls anymore.
No,
It was like, and I remember I went to get it, and the guy that was fitting me for the ball to drill it, he's like, or when I first went to look at it, he said, "Are you buying this for somebody?" I said, "Yeah, for me." And he says, "A 16-pound ball?" I said, "Yeah, why?" Just because I'm a female? Like, what? But yes, that's what I was using, and I did well. People feel better if they are rude. That's so true. And it's like they have nothing better to do in their life.
You're right.
And it's sad.
Yeah. It makes them feel better to try to put somebody else down.
Yeah. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
we got like when Hope was talking about the person that said she talks too much. I could listen to her all day.
Yeah.
You know, she's great. I just it's like
But it,
there-
you know, to feel that you got to get onto the chat and say something, you know,
Mhm.
it's just switch off. If you don't want to watch, don't subscribe and move on to another channel. Go. There's plenty of channels you can watch.
That's right.
You know.
He tests that I have hereditary fructose intolerance, a rare genetic disorder. What the heck?
Wow.
I'm adopted and a twin sister. Now some dietary questions are answered by this.
Huh. I've never
Wow.
heard of that.
No, me neither.
Hereditary
Hereditary.
fructose
I was just
intolerance.
doing the same thing. Fructose is sugar. I know that. Hereditary sugar.
Interesting.
I've never heard of that. Debbie, look that up.
Yeah.
I had a 15-pound Johnny P fingertip. Okay. They are rude because of the carbs.
And the sugar.
Well, sugar is carbs. So, you know,
That's
carbs turn to sugar. Sugar goes, it's just all the same junk.
that's their mind is clouded.
Yes. So much so. It's just, it's insane. I would like to think that I've never been that rude, even though I was hyped up on sugar most of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say things the way I'd say what I felt, but not to intentionally hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Sorry if I did.
Oh well. You know, when I just kind of think back, I don't, you know, I've never really ever had because when I was a kid, I was chunky, you know, but I played sports all the time with my friends in the neighborhood. And then I think about seventh grade is when I changed and I really slimmed out. I was playing football and baseball. And from seventh grade to 12th grade, that's when I was real slim, playing sports, you know, great time in school. But I was still just eating garbage, you know, and I just wondered, it's like, man, I wonder if I would have just adjusted my diet back then, how would life have been a little
Right.
differently? And you're right, you know, who knows if you were rude or, you know, you just don't know because your mind is so clouded with all the garbage that we were eating back then.
You're not kidding.
You know, which affected me later because I had to have, gosh, let's see, it was 90. Well, it was about a couple of years. I was having these really weird pains on my left side of my stomach, and it wasn't often, but when it happened, it happened. And finally, I just couldn't take it anymore. We were living up in New York State at the time, and I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Hey, you got to get your gallbladder removed, and you've got gallstones, and it's about to burst." And I'm like, "Well, get it out of me," you know.
Yeah.
And they did, and I'll tell you, I wish now that I would have known that you can actually don't have to get it removed. You know, you can actually, you know, pass the stones that were in there. There's
Right.
ways of getting it out because it's really affected my life.
Wow.
Now, I do feel that going onto the carnivore, it's gotten a lot better. My stomach issues have gotten a lot better
I was going
since.
to ask you about that because they say once you have your gallbladder out, a lot of fat really bothers you.
It does. It really does. It would get to the point without getting, you know, too detailed, but I would have it started progressively getting worse as the years went by. And now to the point that I was getting there where I couldn't even leave my house before noon or 1 o'clock. So, but now that I'm doing this and it's kind of cleared a lot of, you know, a lot of gut issues and things like that, I'm fine. You can even ask Hope. I'll leave now earlier. I'm totally fine. I'm not having any
That's
issues.
great.
I still have to be careful, but it's nowhere near how it was before. Like I'm not kidding you. I would say, okay, I'm ready to go. I can leave now, and it'd be like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, or whatever. And as soon as I walk out of the house, I got to come right back
Yeah.
because my nerves were so shot from having problems. Where now that's all gone. Like even us driving, you know, out of state for the vacation and things like that. Yeah, again, I still have to be careful, but now I can, you know, I feel like I can kind of monitor it and have a better outcome in a sense.
Right.
And now I can kind of see what I'm doing better, and be able to leave earlier and things like that. So, and just watching what I'm eating, like I
Right.
said, I think all that garbage that I was eating for so many years, it affected me. And now being out of that for a little over a year now, I feel I'm, well over 90% healed from it.
Right. Now, when I had my gastric bypass, that's one of the things they said that is very possible with people that have bypass is at some point you'll have to have your gallbladder removed. Well, knocking on wood, I have not, and I haven't had any issues. My son's girlfriend, she just had to have hers removed not long ago. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
Renee, sorry I went MIA. Grandson just proposed to his girlfriend. Yay,
Whoa.
that's awesome.
Congrats.
And then B Dog, my grandson just asked a girl to homecoming.
Okay. All right.
And Renee says that's where it starts.
Nice.
Can't wait to see if I get more energy. So you're going to fast with us, Renee? Is that what you're going to do? Still here, was just eating supper. What'd you have, Jason? You're on a gallbladder and no gallbladder. I still have to be careful too, but as you said, can monitor it better so far.
Yep.
Good luck with that. Debbie looked up that disorder. It's a rare genetic disorder where there is an enzyme missing that is needed to break down fructose.
Interesting.
I wonder if there's a supplement of that sort that she could take to help break down that fructose. There's usually supplements for everything, but something that your body is missing, this enzyme that's missing, maybe. Hope had her gallbladder out and no issues. Everyone is so different. That is so true. Amy has no issues with fats since her gallbladder was removed. Amy is her daughter, Debbie's daughter.
Yeah.
I can fast, have done 48 hours a couple of times. Didn't help with energy. I'm on day 6 carnivore.
Nice.
Now, I tried carnivore for this month, and it was like, nah. I mostly eat that anyway, but it's that Chalk Zero.
That Chalk Zero is killing you. You got to get rid of it.
A little bit at a time. One day at a time. 5 egg omelet, bacon, mushrooms, Parmesan, and habanero cheese. People with this spicy food, man.
I know.
My gallbladder's been gone 40 plus years and I didn't have any issues either. That's awesome.
I know.
And yours is getting better, you said.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm very thankful.
Yes. Here you go. I keep telling Cindy about her keto products.
You keep telling her, Deb.
I have closets full.
Oh, my goodness.
I have day 2 without my beloved Diet Dr. Peppers, too. Well,
oh, my.
Very good.
My gallbladder, she started with keto and now carnivore, but getting used to it. Because mine is opposite.
Extra to the spice lately. I can do some spice, Jason, but I can't. Not big time spice. It just, I can't. I don't know. I've liked spicy, but just not ridiculously spicy.
Yeah, same way. Keto products and hacks is what made me keep falling off keto for years.
Well, I'll tell you, the keto snacks that I have, I read all the labels first. And if there's any crazy ingredients like hidden sugars, I do not buy them. It's like the perfect keto bars, that kind of thing. Chalk Zero has decent ingredients. They're not crazy like if you go to the store and buy a sugar-free Hershey bar, like
Yeah.
that ain't gonna work. But
Definitely
I'll
not.
tell you, last night's ice cream was absolutely amazing.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. So,
Oh, dang.
did Brian enjoy it, or did he not eat? What
Oh,
did he do?
he enjoyed it absolutely.
Okay.
His was caramel macchiato, and I always mix collagen in with them when I'm mixing them. Yeah, was mixed with, I think, salted caramel collagen, and then put in a creamy cup. And then he mixed in some keto cocoa granola, or as a mix in.
Mm-hmm.
Now mine, I used strawberry cream keto chow and banana keto chow.
Okay.
So it was strawberry banana, and oh man, that was so good.
It sounds good.
Sorry.
It's all good.
But yeah, it was a good combination. So yes. I definitely will not lose out on keto chow. That will still be in my life. I started BBBE yesterday. Feel like I've been on it longer. I'm sorry. But it does good. It really, I slept so good when I did beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
It'll be a week before you know it. Keep at it. Don't give up.
You got this. For me, the hacks just made me crave the real thing. See,
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, it's never done that. I like last night we were talking when I went to the fair. That was a planned thing that I did. Any fair I go to, those funnel cakes are not off limits. And that's the only thing, It's like I told Brian and I went on vacation, and we went to New Hampshire to visit our kids and grandkids and his parents. On the way back, we stopped at a hotel. And right next door was a Cracker Barrel. Now, I love their corn muffins and their biscuits. And I'm sorry if I am triggering anybody. I don't have triggers, so I'm sorry. I looked at Brian. I said, it's been so long since we've tried any bread other than the egg white bread that I make. I said, let's just get some. I cut a cornbread. We each had one cornbread, one biscuit. I cut that in half. I put butter on it, took a bite. I'm like, nope. It just didn't taste right. Did the same thing with the biscuit. Could not eat them. And I'm like, all right, maybe they changed their recipe or something, whatever, but I can't believe this because I loved them. So we finished off the last leg home the next day, and we stopped at a Bob Evans. And I said, now I know they have good biscuits. And I couldn't partake in the ones the night before because they just tasted gross.
Yeah.
So we got biscuits. And I did the same thing. I cut one in half, buttered it up, took a bite. I was like, nope. I could not. I told Brian, I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to make a video, what I didn't do, saying keto ruined my taste buds. Because, man, it was crazy. I agree. It was just cheating. It's easy to justify eating off plan.
It is.
Sometimes it can be. Yep, the keto snacks. I have Dr. Kiltz's ice cream in the freezer. I love my creamy and keto chow ice cream. I don't know about Dr. Kiltz's ice cream, what's in it. I don't know anything about that. You're just a keto beast.
Yeah, she is. She sure is.
I am a keto chow for life. Yes. I thought about doing a week of nothing but keto chow, and I'm like, that might really mess me up. Thanks for the encouragement. It's my first time on BBB, and I'll tell you, I was probably 3 weeks into it before I really got tired of it. Because, my husband is eating what he eats, and he eats mostly all the meats that I cook, but he likes his vegetables at times, and I could take them or leave them. I don't eat a lot of them. And I cook them.
I was done after 2 weeks of eggs.
Now, see, I love eggs. I've done a 7-day egg fast, and I never got tired of them.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Oh man, I love eggs. So I can't stray even for one meal. I don't have the mindset for it.
I'm
And
with
you
you.
know, Jason, that's the whole thing is you got to have the right mindset to stick with anything long term. Because people that just jump in it, oh, we're going to lose weight real quick and then I'll be done. Like all the other fad diets that I've tried and most everybody in here has tried. It's just that you go in, it's a thing where, okay, I don't want to lose this much weight. And I'm like, well, that gets stupid because as soon as you stop doing what you're doing, that plus more weight comes on.
Yeah, sure does.
So you lose like 20 pounds, you're going to gain 30. It's like, it's crazy, crazy. Does any of you try compression sleeves on your weight? I wear compression socks that were prescribed by my vascular surgeon years ago, almost every day. Same here, Jason. Maybe one day, just not today. Yeah, but this is it's a whole different outlook.
Yeah.
On life, really. I mean, when you're changing something that you know is going to be a forever thing.
Yeah.
And unless you have that mindset that it's forever and you're okay with that, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, like I've told so many people and many, many times, Debbie got me started on keto. And I don't know if you ever heard that story, Andy, but that was she had researched diets because her daughter was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. And she found keto. I was, seen other ones, and she got to keto. And she said to her daughter, she said, "You do this, I'll do this with you." This was in June of 2020, I believe. And Debbie, correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. I know you will anyway. So, and she started with her. And Debbie was starting to have a little knee pain that within weeks went away of eating ketogenic diet, ketogenic way of eating, the proper human diet, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever, yeah.
Well, we have a sister chat. We have 2 other sisters. One's the oldest, the other one's the youngest. And she would put in there constant, "Oh, you guys need to try this. I researched this. Amy and I are doing it. You really should try it," and all this stuff. From June to September, I watched these comments come through continuously. And I looked at my husband. I said, "I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this to shut her up. I'm just going to do this."
Yeah.
And I can't thank her enough.
Yeah.
For the persistence and everything, because she says she's proud of me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I haven't had a cheat meal in over 4.5 years. It's just easier for me to abstain.
Jason,
you're
well
right,
done,
Jason.
Man.
Like I said, I had one thing and it was planned, and I would do it again if I get to a fair. But that's like once, maybe one a year or one every couple years. But it's not going to put me in a tailspin to go back to eating sugar crap.
Yeah.
And I can get past that. I can have the real stuff sitting right in front of me. And I don't care. It doesn't bother me to go out to restaurants, because when we go, like to McDonald's, like we were talking about last night, we get the sandwiches without the buns. If I'm doing BBB&E, I get them just the patties and without the cheese and nothing else. Or like we go to, we've been going to Red Lobster once a week because they have the unlimited shrimp.
Yeah.
For $20 up here anyway. You can't beat that. We'll sit there and I'll just eat shrimp. It's like, and I don't get the breaded shrimp. They'll get the scampi and the shrimp skewers, and that's it. and they scampi's in garlic butter. So
Hmm.
I'm good. I'm good with that. So, but yeah, regardless of where we go, if I get the steakhouse, we'll get steak, and I usually don't even eat the sides. Once in a great while, I'll get a salad and I'll eat a couple bites of it
Right.
and then put it aside because I don't want it.
Yeah.
Protein first. And I never did that in the past. I used to fix my plate when I was a kid. I'd have meat and then whatever potatoes were made and whatever vegetable. And I would eat those things to save the meat for last because it was always my favorite.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I've always been like meat and potatoes. That was my biggest thing.
The sleeves pump the fluid out of your legs. They are awesome. My legs were so bad. They were leaking constantly. About 2 weeks using the sleeves, and legs are back to normal. Still have CHF. I'm not sure. Not sure what CHF is.
Yeah, I don't either.
But whatever works. The compression socks work for me, and the diuretic that the doctor gave me. I would be in line for the fair corn dogs.
Yeah.
I was never a corn dog fan, so that was
I love
okay.
corn dogs.
I think planning something is the way to do it if you're going to do indulge. Exactly. And that's what Dr. Berry says too.
Oh,
Congestive heart failure.
Got it.
I should know that. Renee, have you ever had your CAC done? Just curious, because I have twice. And I'll never do it again. That was frightening for me.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Absolutely.
CHF congestive heart failure. I was on 80 milligrams.
The Lasix 3 times a day.
Wow.
Wow, was right. I don't know. The only thing I can think of that has caused my CAC score to be so extremely high, and I've talked about this in my videos, and again in the one that I'm going to be posting later on, is I had so many years of high blood pressure on medication. And when I was a teenager, I went to my doctor one day and he said, "Are you taking your medicine?" Because my blood pressure was up. I said, I keep forgetting. And he was so angry with me. And I was 17, 18 years old. And he took me by my hair and my head against the wall. And he says, "What is it going to take to get you to understand how serious this is?" Well, all these years later, I know how serious it was and how much I abused that by not taking the medication or not getting myself in shape where I didn't need the medication
Right.
until now. And I don't need it. And it's all good. So, after 50 some years of battling high blood pressure, I don't need the medicine, and my blood pressure is great. And that is a big win.
Oh, absolutely.
Big win.
Dawn does
keto. One of my big buddies wraps hot dogs and egg wraps, and I think air fries them. Tastes like corn dogs. Been a while since I made.
Huh.
We do that often. My husband really likes the Egg Life wraps, and he loves hot dogs. I'm not a big hot dog fan, so he'll do that. He'll go and just grab some, heat them up, wrap them up, put some mustard in it, wrap them up in the Egg Life wraps, and eat them.
That sounds good.
Sorry.
It's okay. I know I'm not going to have any
beef hot dogs,
especially this month.
You can have beef hot dogs.
Yeah.
My CAC was 480. B-Dog, you don't even want to know what mine was. 480 is like a dream for me. I know low blood pressure because of the heart. I had low blood pressure because of the heart. I have prescription of Lasix 20 milligrams to be taken as needed now, and have only taken 2 in the last year. The only thing I have to take, and I do take, is a low dose aspirin because I'm getting old. B-Dog, I will just tell you, I had my first CAC score done because Dr. Berry talks about how everybody should know their score. And I felt great. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect the report that I got. But last June, my CAC score was 5,552. And I had caught up with a live between Dr. Berry, Debbie, between Dr. Berry and Dr. Ovadia, who is a heart surgeon. And I paid to ask a question because I had just gotten my CAC score back. And I told him what it was. And he said, well, that's the first one you've had. Use that as your baseline. Get another one done in a year. Keep eating the way you're eating. Get another one done and go from there. Well, I did just that. And I promise you, I will never get another one done.
Yeah.
Because I continued to eat the way I eat. My second one came back at 6,127. Dr. Ovadia, the question I asked him when I found he was live with Intentional Carnivore with Shaun White, I asked a question. I said, this was this, and now it's this, and what do I do? You know, and he's like, typically as you age, your CAC score goes up 20% a year. Mine only went up 10%. So there's that. And I will not have another one done because that scared the you-know-what out of me.
I'm
and I'm
sure
like,
it did.
because I keep seeing everybody, oh, my score is 0 or my score is 100. Oh, no, what do I do? Mine's over 5,500. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to die tomorrow. You know, that's where it was like, dang, dude. I don't think I have had a CAC test. I have had several scans. So if that is what they did, they didn't tell me the score. Oh, you would know the score if they did one. I missed the beginning of you two doing a challenge right now. Yes, I am. And Andy decided to follow along with me for the first week. I am doing for the whole month of September. I am going to do 2 days fasting. So whatever I finish eating for this week, it's Tuesday, Wednesday. Whenever I finish eating on Monday until I eat again on Thursday afternoon. And I'm going to do that every week through the month of September.
I'm doing the lion diet for the month, but I'm going to do the fasting for the 2 days with Cindy on Tuesday and Wednesday for just this week.
And Hope said she's thinking about it.
And Hope's still contemplating.
Come on in, Hope. I know you can hear me. Debbie's like, I'm not getting old. We all are. Everybody is. Beginning, not begging. Yeah, we got that. Wow. That's what I said when I got the results. Wow.
Yeah.
I was in the live when they answered that one. Yeah. It was scary. It was crazy. Oh, snap, that's high. That's what I want to do. Repeat next year. I may do one more. Just go back. You feel best on carnivore. That's what I would do, especially if you're going to go back and have another one done. Because if you're feeling good, that's the main thing.
Yeah. I don't think I've never had one done, so maybe I'll have to get one done.
I'll tell you, I know Dr. Berry says everybody should have one, but I was sorrier than anything that I got one. I really was. Not sure about that. I had some pretty ignorant doctors. Haven't we all? I have a new cardiologist appointment on the 20th, and he does carnivore, so I'm excited about that. That would be great.
Yeah.
Where are you, Renee? Because I'd like to find a cardiologist that
does
makes
carnivore.
sense. Because I'll tell you, mine, I was ready to smack him. The first time I went to him last year, I had an irregular EKG. And I was having these bouts of these spells of tachycardia where my heart would race like 200 beats a minute for about a minute and it would stop. Not stop, but it would go back to normal. And I was having them frequently from before I started keto until probably a couple after I started keto, and they started slowing down a lot. I was still getting them, but not as frequent. And I finally decided to tell my doctor about it. He sent me to a cardiologist. They did an EKG and it came back abnormal. So he sent me for an echocardiogram. Now, while I'm in the office, we're talking about statins. And I said, I will tell you right now, I will not take them because I was on them years ago and I could not move my arms without pain. As soon as I quit taking them, the pain went away. They said, all right, we're going to put you down as allergic to statins. This was in 2022. The echocardiogram came back normal after an abnormal EKG. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. This year, I went back to the same cardiologist for my year follow-up. And he says to me, now there was no discussion of blood work because all my labs are good. My lipid panel was fantastic. My triglycerides were 39. My HDL was like 79. They were great. No mention of this at all. And he looks at me, he said, I can't convince you to take a statin. And I said, did you look at my chart? It says I'm allergic to them. Did you guys put it there after I told you what happened? And he's like, yeah, I saw it. And he's like, and I said, besides, I said, I wouldn't go through that pain again. He said, you can't deal with a little pain. He's lucky I didn't smack this man because that was stupid.
That's when you just get up and walk out.
I'm telling you, I said, no, hell no, I am not taking them, period. And it was like, whatever.
Wow. That's crazy.
What doctor, if it sees on your chart that you're allergic to something, what good doctor is going to ask you if you want to take it anyway? It's crazy.
That's not a good doctor. Hasn't done fasting more than a day.
I think the longest I've done is maybe a 72-hour fast.
Yeah, mine was 29.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the CAC info. I had not seen your video about it. Go check that out because that was scary.
Louisiana.
There are 3 of them. I plan on that. That's a little too far for me. That's a little far, little jaunt. I thought about paying Dr. Barry, but he would say BBBE. Right. I need to go carnivore straight up. I ordered core keto chow too.
Nice.
You know, some people will say that's not carnivore, but you know what? You got to do what you feel best with. And if you can drink that, like I said, I can do anything and it doesn't bother me. And I've maintained this. I haven't put on exorbitant amount of weights, even though I've partaken in Chalk Zero and the bars and everything. I have still maintained this 100-pound loss. I still feel good. I go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. I walk every day and I feel better than I did 30 years ago.
That's awesome.
I'm 65 years old and I don't care who knows it. It's like, Renee, can I come see your cardio carnivore? I'm in Texas. I'll drive over. Hammond, Louisiana. Although he still could be a jerk. Well, there's a lot of them out there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'd like to have Dr. Barry as my doctor.
I'm sure that could be a pretty penny.
He's just down in Tennessee. I'm in Kentucky. He's just the next state over.
Not too far away.
Heck no. I would drive that. I would drive that one.
Yeah.
Daily.
It was nice meeting him in Orlando not too long ago. He's a very nice guy.
Very approachable.
Yeah.
I've met with him twice now at the different conferences.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. It was great.
Well, Cindy, it's time for me to get off this thing.
All righty. You have a good night and hope
rock.
You're out there somewhere.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Tuesday.
I got your number.
You got my number. So you got to follow up on me, okay?
Do I need to?
No. I'll probably text you at the end of the night going, oh my gosh.
What the heck did I agree to do?
Yeah. Well, I'll be okay. But I'll stay in touch with you and let you know how it's going.
All righty. I'll
It
talk
was
to you
good
later.
talking with you again. Good night, everybody.
I'm still hanging out, so you guys don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Andy.
Bye, Cindy. I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. So, oh God, that put me up close. Woo! Anyway, if anybody has any questions, or if anyone would wanted to pop on here with me, I could put the code right into the chat, and all you'd have to do is click on it and come on in. Yeah, Andy's a great guy. Him and Hope were on our live last night with Shauna and myself. And I'll tell you, it was so much fun. They are such great people. And I am going to put this link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on. All you have to do is click the link. And it's fun. But I just wanted to get on here anyway and tell what I was going to do for September. I was going to do it in a video, and I thought, and Sana and I were talking, and she says, you should just start an impromptu live. And I'm like, no. Jason, you won't be disappointed, and don't be afraid to go up to him and introduce yourself, because he is very approachable. There'll be a line to him, but stick out in line. Feel better than I did 30 years ago, too. Yeah, absolutely. Have you looked on Dr. Kiltz's list of doctors? No, I have not. My primary care doctor is okay. He's had success with keto himself, and I only have to see the cardiologist maybe once a year. So I'm good with that. I know how to stand up for myself, so it's all good. On Andy, bye. That's what Homesick Buckeye says. My doctor is Dr. Chafee and Dr. Barry. Yeah, that would be cool. But I think Australia would be a long way to go to Dr. Chafee. Maybe I thought you were Arizona for some reason. No, I'm in good old Kentucky. So where I found my new heart doctor. Well, I hope you like him. I hope it works out for you, Renee, because it's hard when you go to some of these doctors. That I've been really lucky. My doctor in New Hampshire, before my husband and I moved to Kentucky, was all for what I was doing and never gave me any grief. And then when we changed doctors, and even though I wasn't crazy about him in the beginning, there were other reasons for that. But he has since proved himself, and he's the type of doctor that if there's something wrong, he's going to get to the bottom of it. He's an internal medicine doctor. So he's going to find out why it's happening, not just give you medicine. Because I was on Fosamax for a while because I was diagnosed with osteoporosis. It's now been upgraded to osteopenia. I am off of the medicine, and he said, I am so glad, because I didn't want you to take it. So he's good. I'll look at Dr. Kiltz's list. Gotta be better than last when I looked at my legs and said, it is what it is. It's all part of your heart disease. That's BS. I have gone to a vascular surgeon one time when I was diagnosed. I had a bilateral deep vein ultrasound on both of my legs when they found out I had primary and secondary lymphedema. That was after my knee surgeries. And he was like, well, it's not bad enough to do surgery on. Just wear compression socks. And he gave me the gradient to look to purchase. And it was, they've been working fine. And I was prescribed some a diuretic furosemide to help with any water retention. So between the two and this way of eating, I think it's really kept it under control. I went to Dallas to visit a friend of mine the beginning of August. And I decided, because it was going to be 107 degrees there, I was going to wear capris and short socks and sneakers instead of my long pants and compression socks and all that heat. And actually, they did fine. And I was so pleased. It was very, very little water there. And ask her primary caregiver will say, Dr. Barry, yeah. Google carnivore doctors in your state. I found several. Ryan Hall, y'all. Renee, look. I took the same thing. Yep. It's working, so I can't complain. And like I said, he was up in New Hampshire. I haven't been to anybody since then. And if it starts getting to where it's a little wonky, or I start really retaining water or swelling up more, then I'll go see somebody. I'll talk to my doctor and he'll send me to somebody. But the socks help as long as I kept them on, but when I took them off, they swelled back up. So I keep them on all day. I put them on a little while after I get up in the morning. But if I sit here, there's times where I'll be sitting at my desk here with my feet down in the mornings before I've gotten dressed. And yeah, my ankles will swell a little bit just sitting here. But that's not even all the time. But yes, I typically I wear them. I've got them on, I would say, by 10 o'clock in the morning, and they don't come off until probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So it's all day, because I'd rather be safe than sorry, for sure. I think Dante from Ferrigno Freedom mentioned Hall y'all recently. I have not watched Ferrigno Freedom. I've seen him, but I haven't watched his videos yet. I guess I need to. But I haven't heard of this Ryan Hall y'all either. So I guess if anybody has any questions, I will answer them. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be out. Nobody wants to pop on. Sana must be busy shopping still. But that's cool too. She needed some time away from all this. That's good to know. I'll have to check them out. I watch so many people. I don't have the time of day. I really don't. My husband is like, he's a YouTube widow. But he's cool. I'm still trying to get him to tell his daggone story, because he really has one. It's just a matter of time, for sure. But I am going to say goodnight. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. And everybody have a good night. Bye.